Good. That's good. Okay.
I've got mine. Yep. How's it now? Biggest DDoS in Tasmania history. Me? Yep. I'll go. Welcome to Warrior Park for this round 16 NPL clash between Olympia FC Warriors and Devonport Strikers. A huge game. The title race down here in Tasmania. Devonport in front, but their lead has been cut to 2 points after Launceston City's win yesterday over Clarence, and they want to build back that 5-point buffer here at Warrior Park today. Olympia sitting at mid-table. Olympia sitting at mid-table here with not a huge amount to play for, but with one of the best youth academies in the state. They'll be certainly looking to get a bit more experience into some of those players, which you'll certainly see from their bench today. A lot of youth on there, and good to see some of their stalwarts back as well, which we'll get to soon. It's a very dreary day here on the Eastern Shore for the biggest sporting contest on the Eastern Shore this afternoon. One that I'm hoping you're all tuning into over that other one down the road. And sun starting to come out here. It's had a lot of rain in the state overnight. The ground's closed, but luckily the artificial pitch of Warrior Park is holding up well. You can see the Olympia FC players warming up in the middle of the park. Gordy Gerson, the gecko with the blonde hair, very prominent. And Olympia's leading scorer so far this season. We'll give you the team sheets very shortly as we have a look at those Olympia Warrior players. Good to see the big cuddler Alex Holmes back out there. The knee heavily bandaged, but good to see him back on the pitch. And we'll go through an Olympia Warriors lineup. Number 10, Eduardo Castaneda, the former Joey's international. And then number 3, Gordon Gerson, the gecko, the star import from America. And he'll be looking to end his season on a high before going back stateside. Number 9, Lucas Hill, the mountain. He's wearing number 9. It'll be interesting to see where he plays. He's shuffled between centre-back and attacking midfield so far this season. Number 19, the big cuddler, Alex Holmes. Number 1, Brett Johnson, the import goalkeeper. Number 11, Joffrey Nkoso. Number 15, the business, Mark Ortman. He'll be patrolling the centre of the park. Joel Samet. Number 6, number 8, Paul Stevens. Another one of the solid defenders who's for Olympia, who's had a few injury problems so far this season. The captain, number 16, Jake Vandermeer. And number 7, Warren Wadawu, ever consistent performer. Played over his 202nd game for Olympia here today, after celebrating the big 200 the other week. And then on the bench, as mentioned, that very youthful bench, Ben Curtis, Oliver Davis, Jonathan Griffiths, Tommy Little, and number 21, Angus Murfitt, the backup goalkeeper. A little bit of experience on the bench with Griffiths and Little, but still a very youthful lineup here for Olympia Warriors. They've had an okay record on their home ground, but Devonport certainly have done well against them down here at Warrior Park, the Strikers, leading up to their big FFA Cup game in about 10 days' time. But more for us down here, NPL Tas title also in contention. We'll get to their team soon. Yeah, let's go. And so we've got Devonport's line up here now. The Fox in the box, Miles Barnard. They've really taken to their nickname up there at Devonport. Did see a great photo on the way in of Braden Mann just putting a nice fox emoji over Miles Barnard's head. Absolutely wonderful work there from the striker. Number 4, Eddie Bidwell. Number 12, Bo Blizzard. He's been a great addition, or re-addition, to the team so far this season. Number 10, Michael Turtle Holden. Number 19, Gediminas Krusha, still maintained the best Lithuanian player I've ever seen. Number 5, Guillermo Lazcano. Both the imports playing probably just trying to get some match fitness in their legs. Both have had injury concerns of late. Number 9, Braden Mann, needs absolutely no introduction, the leading scorer so far this season. Number 8, Kieran Mulroney. Number 1, Nathan Pitchford. Got Dom Smith, who will be in the defence. Number 18, Joel Stone. A bit cold at the start of the season, but he is in red hot form at the moment. And then on the bench, Henry Andrews, Harold Crocker, a player I'm not terribly familiar with, Jack Dance, and then the new import Jelenovic coming across from Western Australia. Well, co-commentator Andrew Cooling looks primed and ready to add some wonderful words of wisdom. What do you reckon of both teams so far today, Cooling?
Yeah, good to be here, Paul. Just trying to stave off another little attack on Slice of Cheese. Things going just swimmingly for us there, but the stream going ahead today, and just some info on Harold Crocker from the Statsman Benjamin Smith. He was a keen surfer, first off, the most important information first, so
absolutely.
plenty of surfing references there, but from Ulverston initially, moved to Melbourne for uni and has recently returned. Clearly Chris Gallo likes what he sees, and with Jelenovic also on the pine, there's some handy reinforcements there. There's a full-strength Devonport lineup today. That's their best 11, and a big task ahead of them. If they can get 3 points today, that is a giant step forwards toward the title. Out of their games against the bottom 4 sides remaining on the schedule, this is definitely the toughest of them. If they can get through here, it does just give them plenty of wriggle room. As you can see on the table there, updated with yesterday's results, South Hobart and Lonnie City winning, closing the gap there to Devonport. They'll be desperately hoping that Olympia can do what they did back in round 2 and take some points off the Strikers. Of course, on that day, a 1-1 draw. Devonport were the better side for the majority of the game, but Brett Johnson pretty good in goals, and they couldn't convert that dominance. They've done it before. The narrow confines didn't really suit Devonport overly that day. Will we see it again, I wonder?
Yeah, I do remember, though, Devonport coming and getting a very comfortable 2-0 win here a little while ago. Braden Mann scoring one of the goals of the season. I'm trying to remember if that was midway through the season or end of last year.
That was last year.
That was end of last season, that game. Braden Mann with a spectacular volley from about 25 yards out. And I'll be hoping for a similar job at the end of the season here today.
Actually, no, that goal might have been the goal on the 1-1 from earlier in this year. I remember in Koso getting the equaliser.
Ah, yes.
I think Mann scored 2 in a 2-0 win the year before. He scored that many, it's hard to keep track of.
I would assume this minute silence that we're currently talking through is for the recently spotted Harry Alexidius, which name I probably completely butchered there. So we'll observe that for a moment.
So, second minute silence from the games this week. Yesterday, of course, Clarence and Launceston City observing one for Jez Kent, the City coach's father. Our condolences there. And, of course, for Harry here. So, all ready for battle now after that one. A bit of a sobering moment, but now these two teams ready to go into battle, and a crucial 3 points up for grabs. And just some news from up north. There's going to be a delay to the kickoff between Hobart Zebras and Northern Rangers. The pitch underwater. They're not going to move to another pitch ball. They have brought in a pump to get rid of the water out of the corner. That is Tassie football in a nutshell right there. So they're going to pump the water out. We're going to have a bit of a delayed start. So I reckon closer to 3 o'clock will be kickoff in that particular game. What is Lucas Hill doing?
We saw him do this last year. He's got a bit of a habit in the huddle of not actually getting in the huddle, but just doing push-ups and, you know, doing a bit of an arm bar and just generally doing something. I mean, if it's his routine, good on him, but you'd think being the team captain, you'd want him in the huddle there as, yeah, just touching on that minute silence for Harry, one of the Olympia stalwarts in the 60s, played in the original incarnation of the FFA Cup, the Australia Cup for Olympia in the 1960s. Very, very good player from all reports back then as we go to the coin toss. Charlie White in the middle here today. Lucas Hill and Braden Mann, the opposing captains. As we see both teams staying their respective sides. And yeah, I thought given NTCA ground has 2 grounds, you'd move it to the other one up there at North. But getting the pump out on the corner flags, I hope someone gets a photo of that, because I think that might be widely distributed sometime in the next couple of weeks, if so. That is some very, very peak Tasmanian football right there. You'd think the council may have started that at about 9 o'clock if they saw it was waterlogged.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's been going on up there, but it's just the news I'm hearing from up in the north of the state is that there will be a delayed kick-off, and the pump's been called in, so no such issues here, of course, with the artificial pitch at Warrior Park. It hasn't really been raining too much down in Hobart, comparatively anyway, so ready to go here today. Can the Warriors repeat their round 2 efforts? It's the only time they've taken points off a top 4 team this year, or will Devonport take a big step towards the title? They look to get things going early with a Holden cross that's steered away by Holmes. Crucial lets fly with a snapshot from 25 yards that was always rising over the bar. And a sign of intent early from the Devonport strikers. No surprises with the way they appear to be lining up. Holden a man flanking the target man Barnard, and you got Stone, Crucial and Blizzard in the midfield, and the back 4 are Bidwell, Lascano, Mulroney and Smith. Olympia, Lucas Hill looks like he's shifted back into defence again today. Gordy Gerson leading the line. This one should be dealt with by Vandermeer, who's lining up at right back. Hill and Holmes playing centrally. Samet at left back. Paul Stevens in midfield with Altman and Castaneda, and then Nkoso and Wadawu flanking this man, the Gecko, Gordy Gerson. Couldn't quite get on the end of that one as Holden nods on.
I'd love to get an average height comparison of both centre-back pairings here today. There is a lot of tall timber out on this pitch as Vandermeer knocks it down the line in the direction of the postman, Warren Wadawu. Can't quite keep that one under his spell, so Dom Smith will collect, look for the run of Crucial, but well flicked on. Back to the keeper, Brett Johnson. And roll it out to the grandstand side to Joel Samet. Walks it forward to the shortest target man in football, Gordy Gerson. Has played that harassing number 9 role very well, despite what he lacks in height. Especially going up against the likes of Lascano and Mulroney here today. It's now Miles Barnard trying to knock it out wide to Turtle Holden. Devonport getting plenty of numbers up in there, and it's a run through to Barnard, but it's overhit slightly and will go to Johnson. Again, looking to distribute through Samet. I think they're looking to take advantage of Braden Mann pushing on to become a second striker and try and really attack down this left-hand side and look to expose over the head of Nkoso. Well won in the midfield by Bidwell. Now Nathan Pitchford will get his first touch of the match. Rolls out to the centre back. Randy looking forward, but Vandermeer will intercept that one well in front of Turtle Holden. In the back on Gerson, nothing called. Ball kept, no, not kept in, so it'll be a throw in on the far side. Both teams probably at the most full strength they've been throughout the season, particularly Olympia FC Warriors. Been plagued by injuries, and it's been a while since they've been able to put Stevens, Holmes, Hill all on the same team to the same game.
Yeah, we saw it earlier in the year, but perhaps the only worry with that is they're all nominally centre halves. You've got 4 centre backs on the pitch really, 1 at full back, 1 in defensive midfield, and we saw Lucas Hill being used as a 10 at times this year further up the field due to that, but he's their best defender, so they want to keep him back there because they've been conceding. So it's a tough balancing act for Richards. Here's Joffrey Nkoso. He's really coming into his own, this young player, in recent weeks. He might not have the goals and assists to show for it, but just watching him the last month or so, he looks like a player whose confidence is growing at this level. He's taking defenders on, driving the play. I thought he, without impacting the scoreboard too directly at Rangers last week, thought he really had a profound impact on the game just with his ability to carry the ball kind of out from defence into attack. As Gordy Gerson swings this one to the back post over the head of Vandermeer. So just a bit too much pepper on that one from the Gecko, and it will be a throw in down to that far corner for Dom Smith.
Only fault of Lucas Hill, when he plays as a number 10 he wears number 2, and when he plays centre back he wears number 9. Just throwing all shirt conventions out the window is the Mountain.
Yeah, not a man for conventions is the Mountain evidently. That number 9 and centre back just staring me in the face, and it sickens me, to be frank, Paul.
I completely agree. And then he's got his opposing number 9 against him. It's just not right. As Johnson miscues that clearance out for a throw-in. And Bidwell charging on. Holmes manages to get a head in. Braden Mann in the box. Samet. Good touch from Stone, but eventually Samet will concede the throw-in. And Bidwell will stride forward to take this one. Looking towards the Fox in the box. Miles Barnard didn't quite get there, and Samet thumps it long. Clearing header. Only as far as with Darwoo, who just rifles it into the chest of Bo Blizzard. Stone tracking back. Got Nkoso for company and shields his body well to win the foul.
Red hot form is Joel Stone. As you touched on, a slow start to the season, but he's responded to being dropped. It lit a fire under him, I think, as he has been absolutely phenomenal the past couple of months. Even his buggered up crosses are flying in top bins. He's in such a rich vein of form right now as Krusha swings this one into the middle of the box. Stevens nods away. Turtle Holden leading Wadawu to the ball, who gets in and just hooks it from behind him, but can't prevent the throw in. And Dom Smith will be the one to take. Rainer Mann lurking at the top of the box, just waiting to pounce as Barnard offers, and steady ops for Joel Stone, who will turn and take it wide. And he's surrounded by defenders here, and he's clattered into and wins the free kick.
Vandermeer got on the ball there with the left foot. Charlie White a lot closer than we are to adjudicate on that one. Also just good to see Devonport Strikers playing their full strength lineup. You'd think with the FFA Cup on the horizon, but they still want this NPL Tas title just as much, so going at full strength and not resting any players, as we'll see. Krusha will whip this one into the box. Krusha goes near post, flick on by Lescano off the foot of Paul Stevens tracking back. So first corner for the Strikers.
Opening goal last week came from a similar type set piece to Lescano at the near post, just trying to flick it in behind, and went that routine again. What will they opt for this time? The Lithuanian plays it short to Stone. Now Krusha standing it up, but a bit too much on it for Dom Smith. He tracks it back, puts it back into the mixer. The Fox in the box was there. Good header away by Holmes, and now Holden missed time that volley. Just didn't get enough of it. And behind harmlessly for a goal kick. The Strikers on the front foot early in this one.
Looking very potent are the Strikers. Really needing this win, as we've mentioned, to help continue their 5-point lead on top of the NPL Tas. It's Johnson launches this one in the Gordy Gerson direction, and Koso nearly gets the flick on header. And the Gecko with a nice touch to Wadi. Castaneda turns away well. Does Castaneda. Couldn't quite thread through the through ball. The Olympia throw in again to Castaneda. Good sliding challenge to find Samet. Now in Koso. Bidwell just stood his ground and Koso went down and no foul given. Holmes v Barnard. It's going to be a matchup we'll see plenty of throughout this next 90 minutes.
Yeah, the big cuddler just cuddling up to the Fox there. He'll be marking him very tightly, I reckon, Paul. And the Strikers have really looked to use him as a conduit up top. Here's Eddie Bidwell. Crosses in. Lucas Hill misdirection there with a clearance, but he got enough elevation to take it over Johnson's goal. Not a lot of control in it, mind you.
Hard in mouth stuff from the mountain. Just managed to get enough pepper on that one to put it over the top. Similar, seen own goals like that fly in the past few weeks.
Stern examination early on here for this Warriors defence as Mann and Lascano coordinate movements there. The zonal marking system in place here largely for the Warriors. As this one whipped into the mixer, Lascano's there, and then Mulroney misses the volley, and Koso can lead the breakout. Plenty of strikers back here, and they'll get a free kick. No advantage there forthcoming. Cuddler moves it on to Joel Samet.
didn't really need to make the foul there. There was still 3 Devonport players back, and Gerson gets Lascano in the mouth. That'll be a free kick to the Spaniard. As Wadawu intercepts this one, he's got Gerson in the box. That's the direction he's heading. Gets his head to it, Gerson. Great save, Pitchford. Getting down well. The Gecko in prime position there. Got it on target, but Pitchford with a great save down low to his right.
Great reactions from the strikers, number 1, and despite being on the back foot for the first 10 minutes here, best chance of the game falls to Gordy Gerson. A good piece of goalkeeping, flicked on by Barnard. Here's Jake Vandermeer. Gerson wanted it played early. Instead opted to chip it down to Wadawu's flank where there were 2 strikers and gave him no hope of getting it. So I think probably the option there.
The Gecko is always the option with that situation from Vandermeer. We'll have a look at the replay. Or we won't.
Momentarily. Well worth a look though. It was a good piece of goalkeeping from Pitchford. This one's long, Holden outnumbered here. The Mountain nods it back down. Joel Stone swoops on it. Charging towards the box is Joel Stone. He wants to shape onto his right foot here. Cut back to Crucier, lacking in quality, and that's easily dealt with in the end. And out off Smith for a throw in.
Had to hit that with the left foot, Joel Stone with the laces. Try and get it across the keeper. And he wanted it on his preferred right, but it did sit up quite nicely for him as Gerson tries to flick it onto Nkoso. Gets a fresh area, so Bidwell will knock it down the line to Braden Mann. Holmes coming across and will get there in time. Keeps it in the cuddler, but he's penned right back. He's on a flag. Braden Mann all taken quickly. The Fox in the box. 6 yards out. Gets his foot in. No foul on the keeper called. And it's a corner ball. Fox in the box. Doing what he does best and really harassing the keeper.
He's making a nuisance of himself here. He's Barnard and probably a little bit unlucky not to have got a foul there, Brett Johnson, but I know, kind of from the ground hooked it away. Corner ball to be swung into the back post, knotted down by Mulraney, lacking in direction and well wide of the mark. We'll have a look at that Pitchford save now to deny the Gecko what would have been the opening goal. Delightful ball from Wadawu. A good reaction save that one as the Mountain smashes that one along. Can't find Wadawu.
On replay, it was at quite a good height for the keeper. Looking at it again. There's Dom Smith. Will take the throw in inside his own half. Looks long towards the Fox. And May wins it out now to Holmes. Nice ball from Stevens to get Samet in some space. Tries to look for the early ball to Gerson, but knocks it right into the path of Lascano. Intercepted by Nkoso. Now Castaneda. Gerson made the run inside and Castaneda pretty much split the 2 Olympia defenders. They'll have a throw in their attacking half. Samet striding forward. Looks down the line to Nkoso. Turning is the young winger. Out for another throw in. That's Joel Samet. Stride across to take.
Throws it in down the line for Nkoso. Some wrestling with Crucier, who wins it away, the Lithuanian. Further afield to the Fox in the box. And now Bo Blizzard punching it forward. Holden making a searching run. Well defended by Vandermeer. Comes across and clatters that one into touch. As we tick towards a quarter of an hour here. Here is Braden Mann. Having such a sparkling season. Flicked on by Miles Barnard. He's been an effective weapon up top. Broken up by Paul Stevens. Pretty heavy strapping on that left knee today. Injury interrupted couple of seasons, Paul Stevens. This one's long. Again, Barnard the outlet for absolutely everything. And Holmes is just going to let this one run, uses his strength and boxes out Bidwell. But you can see the striker's intent is to get it direct pretty early to the head of Barnard and then have people running off him, Paul.
Yep, that's definitely the plan here for the strikers. And, I mean, it's not a bad one on the slightly narrower confines of Warrior Park. We do see teams employ that tactic often, but Olympia are keeping at least 3 players back at all times to prevent that situation and being able to quite counter with the pace they normally do, the strikers. And now Nkoso turns away from Bidwell rather well. He's got Crucier for company and now beats him for pace, but Crucier Gets the body across. Lascano knocks it off, and Koso for a goal kick. They're not really looking to play the passing game here today, are the Strikers. They tend to leave that for Valley Road when they come down south. Down the number 1. They really do set up shop. We saw that a couple of weeks ago at KG5, even on the wider pitch. As Pitchford plays it between himself and Lascano, getting their passing stats up. Krusha looking for man, but he made a diagonal run in behind.
Do like this Holmes and Hill pairing in defence for the Warriors. Powerful duo on this pitch in particular. Here's Bidwell cutting inside, and Koso could track back well. Works it to Paul Stevens. Assesses the field and then works it up to the Gecko. Turns and is tripped up by Lascano. No play on the call. Joel Stone trying to spring Barnard in behind. A very important foot there from Alex Holmes. Krusha back to Stone, broken up by Altman. And a Fox in the box up against the king of the Andals. He's working hard defensively, the youngster, and he does just enough to influence Krusha there. Bidwell, Blizzard, with strength away from Castaneda, and gets around, and Koso. Well in though from Joel Samet. Sliding in there was Krusha on Altman, but it spills the way of Castaneda. He looks to spring in Gerson. A header from Lascano repels. Now by Blizzard. There's a chance just to settle things down, but he shows way too much of it to Altman and then just charges into him. A clear foul there on young Marky Altman.
Yeah, let's have another look at that one. As Bo Blizzard with the heavy touch, just skimming across the surface. Altman gets there first and got absolutely none of the ball to Bo Blizzard. And Olympia with a chance to do something from this free kick. Both teams very eager to play the through ball at all possible opportunities. It's almost a little mini game of hot potato. You allow 2 passes and then you just have to try and create an attacking opportunity immediately. It's causing inaccurate passing here this afternoon, as we'll see the Mountain over this free kick. It's towards Vandermeer at the back post. Balls to Wadawu. The postman, what can he deliver here? Vandermeer and Gerson there, and Koso at the back post on his right peg, tries to shoot. Bidwell closes it down well. And Koso surrounded by 3 strikers, an absolute yellow wall in front of the youngster. Fall out for an Olympia throw.
I reckon Lascano needs to watch the leaning in on Gordy Gerson's back there. Get himself into a bit of trouble. He went any further than that. Here's Braden Mann, left it behind, allowed Castaneda, and then Mann somehow played it from the ground. Kept the hold of the ball. Sliding challenge was a good one from Lucas Hill. Will it spill now from Koso? It won't quite stay in play. And Charlie White getting a few words with Lucas Hill regarding that challenge perhaps. Been told to calm down, to give the ball up. Have a look at the wrestling match that ensues afterwards. Get off me, he says.
We'll shake hands now, but I think Charlie White just possibly giving Lucas Hill some tips on maybe not putting both feet flying through the air. So if he doesn't get the ball, it's always liable for a card in that situation. Stevens and Castaneda exchange passes. Now to Nkoso. Stevens is out wide. He wants to play it to him. Eventually gets there. Castaneda really trying to get on the ball as much as possible here today. It's a lovely diagonal to Warren Wadawu. Dom Smith for company. The postman jinking and turning. Altman in space, but Dom Smith eventually rails that opportunity. And a bit of space to work with there. Wadawu usually likes to push to the byline in that situation.
So it's Vandermeer with the throw in here. He goes to Wadawu. Smith backheels it away. Now Turtle holding up the line to Barnard, trying to turn the Mountain. Lucas Hill, who does it very nicely there as the Mountain, just wins it away comfortably. Spreads it out to Joel Samet. Samet gets around Bidwell, but Bo Blizzard offering his customary coverage, and as he bent that one enough to keep it in, not quite. Braden Mann disagrees, but the linesman was pretty well positioned to call that one, I reckon.
Yeah, right in front of the play was the linesman. Braden Mann still not happy with that decision. Ever the competitor is the Devonport Strikers captain.
That's unlike Braden to disagree with the
Absolutely.
decision. So this one's headed away by Lascano to Mulroney. Looks up and with the left, spreads it wide for Holden. traps it down, then lays it off for Dom Smith. Smith under pressure from Wadawu. Altman gets a foot in, and then Lucas Hill wanted the back pass. But eventually to Johnson. And pick out Castaneda. And here's Bidwell. Joffrey Nkoso with the interception. He heads off goalward now. Joffrey Nkoso skips around Lascano. A good advantage played, and he uses it well to Gerson. Good save there from Pitchford to parry away. And I tell you what, Paul, it might be Devonport with more possession and more of the ball around the area, but it's Olympia with the two best chances of this match so far.
Oh, Gordon Gerson by far has had the two best clear-cut opportunities of this match. Just once they get the ball to Castaneda and Wadawu, they look really dangerous to the Warriors. And Devonport, I wouldn't say they're rattled, but they're just losing a little bit of their shape occasionally here as Gerson with a nice nutmeg pass finds Wadawu. Now to Nkoso. He's got too many options. He's really got to go back to Samet and Stevens. Ortman's free in the centre of the park. Can spray it out wide if he wants. Goes to the mountain. Van der May making a diagonal run, but goes the other side to Nkoso. Bidwell gets up well. Just manages to keep it in. Does Eddie Bidwell? He really wants some options here. And instead, just gives it right back to the opposition. Quite the theme of this first half so far. Nkoso. Lovely bit of skill. Stevens. It's long towards Wadawu. Challenges for the header. Joel Stone against Castaneda. And Stevens. Still rocking that very large amount of bandage on his knee. Dom Smith and Wadawu. Wadawu gets there first. Takes a few steps and then falls on his backside. Got the last touch as well. Did the Olympia winger. Just to add insult to injury.
Quite maintain his balance as Pitchford takes this one quickly and goes to Lascano. He'll carry out on the right. Back now to Bo Blizzard. Doing plenty of work early in this one is Bo Blizzard, defensive midfielder. Out to Dom Smith, who's got a little bit of room to operate. For the first time today as he marauds forward and chipped one looking for man. Headed away to Holden. Blocked off by Holmes. Good foot in to take it away from Krusher. And now Joffrey Nkoso. King of the Andals screams his way out of trouble. And does he win the throw in? No, he doesn't.
It's often coming up against a humongous yellow wall is Joffrey Nkoso. So that ball's played nicely out to Holden, who's got Van der May to beat, goes to the byline, shoots. Brandon Mann not able to get there. Brett Johnson with the save, and it's out for a corner kick. Couldn't tell if that was a cross or a shot from this angle from Turtle Holden.
Bit of both perhaps, just trying to sneak it through Johnson, either try and maybe he gets a piece of it and ends up in the net, or he doesn't get enough of it and it falls to Brayden Mann. Just tried to smash it back across the face and see what happens. I think there from Turtle Holden. It was dealt with pretty well by Johnson, but the corner from Krusher is repelled by the postman. Back to Turtle Holden. Blocked off by Nkoso. Now Ortman. Only as far as Bo Blizzard. Everyone from Olympia bar Gerson was back. Johnson should comfortably collect that. And the American does, and quickly sets it off to Samet. That ball deflected into the path of Stevens. Works out all right for the Warriors. Gerson had made a run. That one ignored by Castaneda. Instead goes to Samet. Back to Joffrey Nkoso. And Brayden Mann wants to take the throw, but once again to his chagrin, it's gone the other way.
Oh, the reaction on the sideline from the Devonport bench tells you all you need to know about that decision. Still protesting. That one is Joel Stone. And it will be an Olympia throw-in after all that. On the line towards Nkoso. Still can't get past the double team. Blizzard sets Krusher a hell of a task and falls right to Van der May. Wadawu spinning away from Smith. Turned over, and now Turtle Holden just can't play that simple 10-metre ball to the Fox in the box, and Holmes picks it up, sends Nkoso a task against Bidwell. The ball clears comfortably. There's the throw in. Samet will stride forward from left back to take this one. Good to see after 24 minutes we haven't lost 4 balls down to the highway like we did last time we were at Warrior Park. Throw in towards Nkoso. Stone moved long down the sideline where Brandon Mann usually has been, but on this occasion it's nothing but Olympia players. As the Mountain and Holmes coolly deal with that one. Samet jinking inside. He's got a bit of space here, does the young left back, Samet. With Dawu getting back on the left foot is Samet trying to find Gerson, but not coming off there. Vandermeer and Barnard battle well. Ortman, Cuddler Holmes with a heavy touch, but it sticks out a long leg. Stevens covering at left back, waiting for Samet to get back, and Bidwell wins it. He's got options down the middle, but finds Braden Mann down the line. He's got two at the back post, off his head, I think, so that'll be a goal kick. Alex Holmes deflecting off his knee right to the scone of Braden Mann.
Yeah, just falconing himself there was Braden. Not his most elegant moment, as Barnard with a good flick on if someone had made that run. Unfortunately, no one was taking up that position. Man cutting a slightly frustrated figure, but still got plenty of time to have his say. 28 goals in 15 games this season, just a phenomenal record. He's set to absolutely obliterate his own scoring record in the NPL, and he could do so in the next couple of weeks. As that's a free kick blown on Joel Stone. Charlie White just going to have a word here with the young King of the Andals. A real battle royale up top today. The Spanish King Lascano up against the King of the Andals and King Joffrey here.
He's certainly the king of the fans here at Olympia Warriors. Got a lot of time for Joffrey and Kosa. They see him as a real promising outlet. There's the tall timber and the back stick at the moment. Holmes and Lascano and Vandermeer. As we'll see the ball whipped in from Cruciate, goes towards Mann, but well headed clear from Castaneda. Hooks back in. Samet repels this time. Koso battling with Blizzard, who'll win this one on this occasion. Lovely through ball to Braden Mann. He's got Holmes for company. Back to Lascano. Takes touch, hits it. Good save. Brett Johnson, the centre back for the Strikers, and then completely missed there from Kieran Mulroney. Now Wadawu. Braden Mann in a pocket of space here. Calls for offside, not given. Mann got the overlapping run of Stone, and the two best mates couldn't quite hook up on that occasion. Stone. Samet jumping in front. Hit right at Brett Johnson, that shot, but it had good power on it from the centre back, Lascano. If you're a Devonport Strikers fan, you'd probably want a lot. 9 other players on the pitch in that situation rather than Lascano.
Save though from the American keeper. Sticking out the right leg and got enough of it. Ooh, fancy little back heel there from Whitey Castaneda. We like that. To Wadawu. Now Castaneda. Couldn't get a hold of that one. Braden Mann, the ball was played behind him. Surges onto it, nods it into his own path, and asks Stone to make the run and sends it down the line for him, Alex Holmes. He's very much awake to the situation though, and he's just going to use his big frame and see it out of play. And I reckon they might get a free kick here rather than a goal kick, which might not be the result they're after there.
Yeah, I think.
So we'll have a look at Lascano's chance. He's worked in here to the Spaniard pretty well to get the shot away. Onto the left, onto the right, bang, quick release, but as you touched on, Paul, just a bit too straight at the keeper on that occasion.
Probably didn't give him enough credit for that touch and shot there, Lascano. Great fleet of foot from the Spaniard. Header high into the sky from the Fox in the box. Cruciate. And the flick on. Man in the box. Barnard just happens to slip over at the most inconvenient of moments, and that'll roll out for a goal kick. Johnson. Lucas Hill was going to take a nice running goal kick then. Instead, Johnson fires it towards Nkoso. Shielded Bidwell off it well, but couldn't quite take the shot down. As we tick towards half hour in this match, and a couple of clear-cut opportunities for Olympia, but both sides are struggling to string 4 to 5 passes together consecutively. A Stone flicks it over the head of Samet nicely. Goes past Stevens, now to Mann. Who holds at the back post if he wants him. A good challenge from the cuddler Alex Holmes. Darwin looking long. And he's fouled after the ball was the postman Warren Wadawu. Braden Mann and Warren Wadawa are having a nice chit chat, and what a surprise, Warren Wadawa is talking to a referee. It is the most unsurprising aspect of this game so far. Not terribly happy about something though, is the postman. A lot of finger pointing going on there.
There is a bit. So Brett Johnson just having the opportunity for his shoelace to be done up there by Vandermeer. Actually, we'll restart. And, for those struggling to get on a slice of cheese, DDoS attack yesterday, and still reeling a little bit from it. We were moving servers on Tuesday, but until then it might be a bit unstable, unfortunately. We thought we'd sorted it out last night. It was working beautifully all morning, Paul, but as soon as the action starts, they're on, so there will be some coverage, even if we can't access the blog on that particular match. As Warren Wadawa, I thought, was fouled, and indeed he was. The advantage allowed to go? No, he was a bit slow taking the advantage, to be fair.
And for these kind of matches, you'd rather listen to our dulcet tones than read it on the blog anyway. I mean, such is the insight we provide here at Slice of Cheese. It's a real value add to the sport, as Vandermeer still can't take this free kick. Charlie White engaging in some pedantry of the highest order regarding this free kick take. In the end, they knock it 4 metres to Alex Holmes. Vandermeer heaves it down, but repelled in its first instance. Holden against Vandermeer. He'll certainly win the pace battle. Will Holden, but unfortunately the touchline beat him. Vandermeer into the centre, finds Ortman. Castaneda. Not going to win too many headers against Joel Stone, is Waddy Castaneda. Fox in the box. Out to Turtle Holden. He's got his 2 striking companions in the box. Looks to take on Vandermeer. Hill comes across, goes near post, and well cleared from the Cutler. Alex Holmes pushed underneath it was Holden. Half a nutmeg on Ortman. Dawu turns, beats one, and then tries to put in Gerson, who was niggling for a free kick the entire time then. Digging your shoulder into someone's ribs on purpose usually doesn't win you a free kick, as that one goes down the sideline, but also beats the touchline as well. You could see from up here what Gordy Gerson was trying to do. Lescano just stood his ground, and he was being a bit niggly there. It was Gordy Gerson. The referee not fooled.
Yeah, niggly, a good word to describe that, as this is down the line. Bidwell favoured to win the header and just knocks it out of play. Another throw. Past half an hour here. No breakthrough as of yet, which I'm sure South Hobart Zebras and City fans would be enjoying tremendously, as this one's worked into the middle. Warren Wadawa cushions it down and then lofts it up. This will come down with snow on it. Lescano heads it away. Plenty of strikers to the fall of the ball. Gerson hustling as ever up top, but a lot of support there, and in favour of a man of his stature anyway. Coming through the middle, of Lithuanian Krusha. Dwells on it. Plenty of bodies back for the Warriors, so he just takes it down the line, perhaps just wanting to win a throw, but he's run it straight out of play. Ortman back to Vandermeer. He goes to the Mountain Lucas Hill. Now Paul Stevens. Samet. Bidwell sucked into it, which might just open a little bit of space for Nkoso. And he take advantage. He's off to the races. Joffrey Nkoso charging down the wing, but steered away from him in the end. And Castaneda back on it. Stevens. Gerson wants the early release once more. Spreads it for Wadawa, who set him quite the task to keep it in play.
Thought the king of the end was that his shirt tugged there on that initial run down the sideline. Unfortunate there wasn't Nkoso. Vandermeer takes the throw in. With Darwood. Back to Vandermeer. Oh, lovely little work there from Turtle Holden. Robs him of the ball. Think he's straight a yard offside. Vandermeer clears it anyway. Stevens and Wadawu trying to get it out of a tight spot, and now sets a run for Gordy Gerson, who harasses well. Again, Lescano comes across as the second defender. Now Bo Blizzard. 3 up there, one of which is Braden Mann, but that is right down the throat of Brett Johnson. And it's pretty much the situation we were talking about in pre-game, where Braden Mann scored a great volley here in games gone by, but not quite the accuracy on that one. Probably been the tail of the first half here. It's just inaccuracy. It's been played at an all-right tempo. It's just kind of getting that 4th and 5th pass together and something both sides have struggled with. Braden Mann in the box. Heavy touch, and Ortman will clear that one. To Joffrey and Koso. Castaneda beaten out again. Now Stone. To Mann. Eddie Bidwell. Braden Mann calls for offside, nothing given, and he kind of paused there, Braden Mann, allowing Joel Samet time to get back, and then off the chest of Braden Mann for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating first half so far for the Strikers captain. But there's no doubt he's going to keep hustling away, and Olympia can't switch off for one single moment. Well, he will make them pay. It's Olympia doing well at the moment. We've said all year the Warriors, whilst they've struggled for results in these big games, they've got the capability to do it. They dropped out of the title race fairly early on, but there was always the perception there'd be a team that could really shape the title race by perhaps taking points off the top four. And we've seen in this first half out here, they're a team that can cause troubles, though. They're in trouble themselves here as Braden Mann puts it on a platter for Turtle Holden, and a great save from Brett Johnson. Made himself big, got down well. Joel Stone now crossing back into the Fox. And Vandermeer does well to get a boot in ahead of the stooping head of the Fox in the box.
Oh, Brett Johnson with a wonderful save. There, Turtle Holden making the near post run, made himself big, came out to close the angle, and did very well. Did the American keeper. So have a look at Fox in the box, really putting his head where it doesn't belong. And we'll see what they can do from this corner. It's Crucier. As always, very interesting setup here from Devonport. Everyone pretty much standing on the line. And it's flicked in and over the top from Barnard. Made a good run. I was just commenting, they're all sort of coming back from the goal line, were the Strikers. Not tracking the run there was Vandermeer. We were talking before about Olympia playing zonal marking. It's pretty difficult to do when all the Strikers line up in that situation. Move in game from the Strikers, and really paid off for the goal to Barnard. Probably in the last 2 minutes, their two clearest opportunities. Vandermeer goes bush to recollect the ball.
You're probably right. The Warriors had the two best chances of the game up until the last minute, and then two prime chances there for Devonport as a long ball is knocked in the Gerson direction. Lascano lets it go for his keeper in the end. But really the stature of a target man, Gordy Gerson, but it's the role he's been cast in all season, and he's thrived when they've hit his feet, but very tough sledding for him when they persist with long balls to his head. And one comes in at the other end, and Vandermeer negotiates that one easily enough. Back down to the American, who all opposite long. Gerson's going to have to go again, but Mulroney has plenty of height there. Holmes, big contact on that one, but not quite the direction he was after.
Olympia with the tallest back line in the league and the shortest forward line. It's like a slippery slope from back to front.
Yeah, perhaps taking the flipping the magnets concept, the stature of the Warriors. They landed, the exception of Joel Samet. I mean, they could play a back three and really roll it, or even move Stevens in the back four and roll out a huge back four. He brings the average height down a little bit, young Joel Samet, as Lascano fought to Barnard, who executed the first bit beautifully and then missed the volley to try and spring man.
Real Belgium 2014 World Cup vibe about this Olympia Warriors defence. As Stevens finds Samet. Down the line, he looks for Nkoso, but it's right to the head of Bidwell. Rocking that four tall centre back look as Nkoso down the line. Samet. 3v2 down here, and Nkoso does well, jinking inside with Darwoo's in a nice pocket of space. So's Gerson, turning with Darwoo. Castaneda, absolute yellow wall in front of him again. Samet to Ortman, who we haven't seen a whole lot of in this game. With Darwoo, nice through ball to Gerson, tries to control it with the head. And it falls to Ortman, and Stone shanks the clearance. Goes to Mann. First time ball towards Turtle Holden. Vandermeer had that one covered. Two offside Olympia players. The Mountain doing what he does best and winning a headed contest, and then with Darwoo with a lovely think over the Devonport player. Rush clearance over the head of Samet. This stays in, Braden Mann's on, but the confines of Warrior Park going against him again at KGV. He was probably on there, Braden Mann.
Yeah, would have had a bit more room to run in behind. Not so. Gordy Gerson not far away from unlocking him there. If that had been just in a fraction lower and he could have controlled it with the chest rather than the salad, he may well have been in there. He's the type of player who can just pull a rabbit out of the hat and make something happen from not even a half chance, a fraction of a chance. He can just slip free. Very lively customer up top, Cody Gerson. And a free kick opportunity for the strikers here, and they send the centre backs forward. There's a Jediminas Krusha. Prepares to swing this one in. Gerson tries to block it. Smith directs it. Lucas Hill perhaps a little unsure if it was creeping wide or not. Opposite just smashed that one out.
Just about stayed for a throw in. It was very nearly a corner flag. It might be like a line drive in baseball where you just can't quite tell what side of the pole it's going to go. It was the throw in. Taken short. Krusha back to Holden. Holmes wins the header again. Holden only as far as Wadawa, who's under significant pressure. Turtle Holden's in. Braden Mann with the tap in at the back post. Devonport strikers have only really come into the game the last 5 minutes, but they are 1-0 up.
Well, I've got to assume that's something out of Fortnite, given his form line with the celebrations there, Braden Mann. But that was a bang average celebration. But they won't mind one iota because they've taken the lead here. They've finally broken through. They've just worn them down, really, Devonport. As the half's worn on, they've got better and better, and the mistake comes from Warren Wadawu, really gifting him there that you can't turn the ball away. You can't be that casual in your own penalty area. The postman has just delivered a goal to the Devonport strikers, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was trying to give Braden Mann some credit for the awareness and Turtle Holden for chasing it down, but Wadawu just dallying on the ball 18 yards out, which is always dangerous. And again, Holden flicks it back in, and Hill not under a whole lot of pressure, but clears it right into the fans behind the goal. Wouldn't go down the landscaping there, sir.
No, that's not advisable.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Lucas Hill, I'm not sure he needed to concede this corner, really, the mountain, but he needs to defend it as a good, strong finish to this half from the strikers. It's been a bit of a yellow surge, and they've now got themselves a lead. Can they double it? Johnson fisting that one away from the Fox in the box, and Koso pouncing, but he tried to take it past Blizzard, wasn't having a bar of that. Cross onto the head of Holmes, now Krusha with the volley, and he holds on to it. Brett Johnson, the Fox was lurking in that box, waiting to sniff out a goal.
Wanted to catch it, Brett Johnson, and just bobbled a little bit in front, and maybe safety first and parlay would have been better. Stevens manages to find the head of a Devonport player. Bidwell intercepts. Joel Stone tracking back. Blizzard to Bidwell. And Koso feeding Bidwell's probably been the matchup of the game so far. Seen plenty of the ball down that sideline. Gerson backing into Lascano, and then the ball bounces more than 1.6 metres, which means Gerson's probably not going to win the header. And it's Pitchford launches that one to Stone. Tripped by Stevens. Advantage played. Turtle Holden wants it played to him, but Vandermeer intercepts. Holden harassing again, but Johnson clears the danger first time. Don Smith. Vandermeer to Castaneda. Castaneda's one touch. The way he just plucks the ball out of the air in situations like that, it's a real touch of class that Whitey Castaneda has. Kano. Back to Pitchford. Shouldn't want this on his right foot. Passes with his left though. Krusha. Olympia just tending to rest off the strikers players here, allowing him to get the ball out in relative ease at the moment. Just that goal to Devonport, man. Just a bit of shock through the Olympia Warriors team. They've just lost a bit of zip that they've had in the first 40 minutes of this match.
Yeah, definitely coming as a blow, because they've been a really strong second half team this year, the Warriors too. If they could have headed into this second stanza with a squared ball game, they'd really have some belief for the second half, but now they're going to be chasing it against a Devonport team who just know how to win, and they're not a team that throws away leads generally, as Bo Blizzard works this one up to the Fox. He tries to play in man, he does play in man, a slightly loose touch though. He composes himself, runs in on the angle and slides it to Barnard, who gets it horribly wrong. A good chance that for the Fox, and he's blasted into the stratosphere.
Yeah, blasted that high, very high and very wide has the Fox in the box. Braden Mann could have just controlled that from the first instance. He would have had an even better chance, and then set up Barnard, who you would anticipate with the high standards we set for the Fox in the box. He would have put that in the back of the net. As it stands, still 1-0. There's Nkoso, turns away from Stonewell. Castaneda can turn, gives it back to the king of the handles. As we tick into stoppage time, we assume there'll be the customary 1 minute. As calls for Samet to stop dealing 10 yards are heeded. Samet really taking his time with this throw-in. Nkoso is inside the 18-yard box. Ortman's free at the top of the box. Eventually finds with Dawu. Nkoso running across as a shot deflected. Bidwell hoofs it forward in the Barnard direction. Holmes with time to get this one down. Forward Stone. Bursting through is Joel Stone, but Paul Stevens sticks a leg out. Another misplaced pass from Wadawu, and we see the half-time whistle here very soon. Blizzard. And there it is, half-time here at Warrior Park. Devonport taking the most of their opportunity late in the half. Braden Mann goal puts them 1-0 in front. Olympia, in the first 40 minutes, it was a very even contest. They probably had the two best chances of the early goings of this match, but Devonport just being that slightly more, I guess, polished team, and Michael Holden capitalising on a mistake to put it in the path of Braden Mann, sees the ladder leading. Devonport strikers 1-0 up here at half-time.
Yeah, they got stronger as the half wore on. For the first 30 minutes, the Warriors looked more than a match for them, had a couple of good chances, couldn't quite take one. Devonport, no such issues when they fell their way late in the half. They just seemed to run it out, the stronger of the two teams. The game's worn on. They've looked better and better. They've got a 1-0 lead. They could have doubled it in the run into half-time there. It was a very good last 10 minutes from them. And they'll be pretty happy with the way they grew into the game, I suspect, which has them on the precipice of really having a meaningful advantage after 16 rounds of the NPL season. I think all their title rivals will be hoping the Warriors can snatch something back in the second half. We'll be back in around about 10 minutes time to see if they can. In Lucas Hill, misdirection there with the clearance, but he got enough.
As Wadawu intercepts this one, he's got Gerson in the box. That's the direction he's heading. Gets his to it, Gerson. Great save, Bitchford. Getting down well. Oh man, all taken quickly. The Fox in the box. 6 yards out. Gets his foot in. No foul on the keeper. Called.
And he gives it to Paul Stevens. Assesses the field and then works it up to the Gecko, who turns and is tripped up by Lascano. No play on the call. Just now by Blizzard. Chance just to settle things down, but he shows way too much of it to Ortman and then just charges into him. A clear foul there. Went any further than that. Here's Braden Mann. Left it behind. Allowed Castaneda and their man somehow played it from the ground. Kept the hold of the ball. Castaneda and their man somehow played it from the ground. Kept the hold of the ball. Sliding challenge was a good one from Lucas Hill. Will it spill now for Nkoso? Bidwell. Joffrey Nkoso with the interception. He heads off goalward now. Joffrey Nkoso skips around Lascano. A good advantage played and he uses it well to Gerson. Good save there from Pitchford to parry away. And I tell you what, Paul.
Tom Smith and Wadawu. Wadawu gets there first. Takes a few steps and then falls on his backside. Got the last touch as well.
Joffrey Nkoso. Braden Mann wants to take the throw, but once again to his chagrin, it's gone the other way.
Got two at the back post. Off his head. I think so. That'll be a goal kick. So, reflecting off his head, right to his shoulder. This occasion, lovely through ball to Braden Mann. Holmes for company, back to Lascano. Takes touch, hits it. Good save. Brett Johnson, the centre back.
But sticking out the right leg and not enough of it. Ooh, fancy little back heel there from Whitey Castaneda. We like that.
His two striking companions in the box. Looks to take on Vandermeer. Hill comes across, goes near post and well cleared from the cover. Alex Holmes. We've got Ortman. Dawu turns Beats one and then tries to put in Gerson, who was niggling for a free kick the entire time. Clears it anyway. Stevenson with Dawu. Trying to get it out of a tight spot. Now sits. Run for Gordy Gerson.
Like they're in trouble themselves here as Braden Mann puts it on a platter for Turtle Holden. And a great save from Brett Johnson. Made himself big. Got down save from Brett Johnson. Made himself big. Got down well. Joel Stone now crossing back into the Fox. And Vandermeer does well to get a boot.
As always, very interesting setup here from Devonport. Everyone pretty much standing on the line. And it's flicked in and over the top from Barnard. And a header again. Holden as far as Dawo's under significant pressure. Turtle Holden's in. Braden Mann with the tap in at the back post. Devonport strikers have only really come into the game the last 5 minutes, but they are 1-0 up.
Well, I've got to assume that's something out of bar of that. Cross onto the head of Holmes. Now Crucial with the volley. And he holds on to it, and he had to, Brett Johnson, the Fox. He tries to play in man. He does play in man. A slightly loose touch, though. He composes himself, runs in on the angle, and slices it to Barnard, who gets it horribly. Half at Warrior Park. The Warriors trailing 1-0 thanks to a Braden Mann goal late in the first half. The Devonport strikers really worked their way on top of this one after Olympia started pretty brightly. But as the half wore on, things definitely improved for the strikers. Here's Gerson. Dropped it off from Koso. And away by Jetty Krusher to Braden Mann. Mann lobbing one over the top, looking for the runner Holden. There was Lucas Hill as the sun breaks out here at Warrior Park. Picked up by Stone, looks to turn inside, but Castaneda was shadowing him. Now Bo Blizzard. Blizzard down the line. They've turned it over, and then in turn the Warriors turn it back over. Here's Krusher, pocket of space for the Lithuanian here, and he spreads it across to Braden Mann. A toe in from Vandermeer, and behind for the first corner of the half.
Not much of a surprise, Devonport coming out the stronger. What is a surprise? Sunny Eastern Shore coming out for this second half. I've not seen this ray of sunshine at Warrior Park for a long time. And as Devonport get the first corner of the second half. Gentleman is Krusher striding across to take it. Again, Devonport lining up most players on the byline before whipping it in, and it's right down the throat of keeper Brett Johnson. Immediately out to Warren Wadawa. Gerson peeling off towards the back post, wanting the diagonal, and it's in that direction. Turnell Holden covered that one well. Ortman trying to get the bouncing ball down. Barnard eventually works out to Braden Mann, who's looking to take on Vandermeer. It's Braden Mann into the box. Vandermeer knocks that one out for another corner. or by corner we mean goal kick, because I was 99.9% sure that was a corner kick, as Van der May seems to just kick that one out. Johnson to Wadawu, to the Cutler, Alex Holmes. Interesting pass there from Paul Stevens, putting the Mountain back into his own 18-yard box. Samet to Wadawu. Gordy Gerson making a near post run. Lovely turn to get past Mulroney. He's got 4 players against him though, and he's eventually crowded out. Keeps the ball somehow. Olympia's attackers just taking a bit of time to try and get up. Give their striker some help. He was doing very well there. Alex Holmes sticks out a lead. Eventually clipped. Dawu again. And Tom Smith this time. To man. Turnbull Holden now against Van der May on this grandstand side. Still in play. Nkoso striding forward. Nkoso trying to turn Dom Smith. The second defender coming across, and Joel Stone helps out with that one and goes out for a goal kick. So Nkoso doing well to keep the ball, but not really able to fashion an opportunity from that.
Actually thought he got fouled there, Nkoso. And there the youngster. Yeah. Good run till the support came in from Joel Stone. Dom Smith, a tough man to get past. More experienced defenders in the comp despite his relatively tender years. Dom Smith, he's been a staple of this strikers lineup for a number of years now as Van der May nods that one into touch. He's got a switch between centre back and left back over the past few seasons, and settling back in at left back this year. Occasionally when they've sat 3 at the back, he's played the left-sided centre half with Holden as a wing back, but primarily he's been played as a full back this year. Dom Smith as Stone works it down the line. Chance for a cross for man if he could get there, but Lucas Hill slides in and blocks it away.
Substitution being made by Olympia in half-time. I can see Jonathan Griffiths now at left back and no Joel Samet. So luckily they look different enough as that one's whipped into the box. Now Eddie Bidwell. Now to Crucio, who shields away from Wadawu well. Sizes up Griffiths. He got the height and strength advantage there. Does Crucian manages to get that one to the back post, and Koso clears comfortably to Turtle Holden, who tries to fashion a chance, and the Mountain hoofs that one clear in the end. Gerson somehow springing up Tim Cahill-esque to try and win that header. Fid on the unfamiliar left foot, just hits it to right down to Mark Ortman. And Koso. Gordy Gerson. One of the players has to get in the middle there, as that's right where Gordy Gerson would have been in that exact spot. Wadawu and Ortman just both holding off on the 18-yard line and neither really making a lung-busting run into the box.
Yeah, Gordy Gerson has certainly made plenty of lung-busting runs in the first few minutes of this half. He is just frenetic the way he's closing down the strikers' goalkeeper and centre halves and demanding his teammates do the same, and looking behind him, perhaps not quite seeing the same pressure being applied there. A moment ago, Gordy Gerson, as man flicks this one on, but his work rate off the ball is phenomenal. He does not stop running as Brett Johnson lofts this one in the Wadawu direction. Nods it forward, but no one on the end of it, Pitchford. Take a moment to assess his options and then slings it out to the experienced Kieran Mulroney. Mulroney down the line. Van der May up and under. Ortman favoured, but in from behind came Crucia. Stevens, Gerson leaning back on Mulroney. Draws the free kick in the end. Castaneda wants to take it quickly. Joel Stone does well to prevent him from doing so without having on the wrong side of the referee in the process. Castaneda will take the free kick here as the Warriors look to draw back level in this one. They drew 1-1 earlier in the season at Warrior Park. Joffrey and Koso with the equaliser that day. Here's Castaneda, who tries to catch out Pitchford, but he wasn't going to get beaten by that. Comfortably back and deals with it. Bidwell couldn't quite keep that one in and smashes it out of play.
Again, wanting the wider pitch, or maybe used to the wider pitch there. Zebras would usually throw it to that side of Eddie Bidwell and create some space, but the narrow confines of Warrior Park coming up again as Nkoso can't quite keep that one in.
Score update from up at the NTCA. 2-0 the Hobart Zebras have made a bright start 20 minutes into that game. Slight delay due to a flooded pitch and a water pump being required to clear the far corner, but the Zebras clearly not been put off by the delay.
Yeah, it's anyone flicking between the two streams will notice how damp the pitch is up there at NTCA ground. It's skidding on a bit, but they have removed all that excess water from the corner flags, which is good to see. There's Devonport now trying to attack through Bo Blizzard. The mountain gets in the way. Morani searching towards the Fox, who's tried to flick it on in the direction of Turtle Holden, who's flagged offside in the end.
Well, it's turned into a lovely day all of a sudden, hasn't it, Paul?
Hasn't it ever? Hasn't it ever? Something we have not seen here for quite some time.
Yeah, there's been some inclement weather in our recent streams here from Warrior Park as Krusha takes it wide but ran straight to Ryan Wadawa, who soldiers on well here, the postman. Now he's going to have a run at Lascano, who leapt in, got his foot to the ball. And then Barnard, coolly past Ortman, back to Bidwell. Wadawa to another play. This Lascano challenge, it was an important one. Left in. Just got his heel on the ball before taking the man.
So he's a bit proppy after that though, Lascano. Quite moving fluidly. There's Stone trying to twist and turn his way out of a tight spot in the midfield, and he does well to find Bidwell. Goes the early ball looking for Mann, but Johnson claims that one very easily, and Strikers, whilst it is a road game, they'll be happy for a hit out on the artificial turf, as that's what their upcoming FFA game will be played on up at Bulleen Lions home ground in Victoria.
Yeah, it's not too far away from that one, just over a week away from a huge FFA Cup game against Northcote. It's going to be a massive week for the club. That sandwich between games against Hobart Zebras and South Hobart, so a massive week coming up for Devonport, and geez, 3 points here would be the perfect lead into it. They'll be very well situated if they can take care of business. If they were to concede an equaliser and the Warriors steal a point, then suddenly it becomes an even tougher week for them. So a big last 35 minutes here in the, I suppose, the ladder for the rest of the season. It's really going to shape it, I reckon, this next 35.
It just gives them that opportunity if they do draw or potentially even slip up against Zebras and South Hobart. They've still got a little bit of a buffer, whereas only a draw here, and they really can't afford to slip up either of those games against their other top four rivals, both of which are at Valley Road. Certainly the Zebras game is the South one at home as well. Do you know offhand?
I think it might be, I think both are up there.
Both are up there, yeah. That's what I thought. There's Johnson.
The City games at Buckley, I think their other two are home. 2 out of 3 at home.
Yeah.
They've actually been better on the road this year, the Devonport Strikers. It's been winning most games, but their record's slightly better away. Is Michael Holden can't get around Lucas Hill. And Mountain manufactures that one away. Yeah, throw in. Taken back to Blizzard. Then lofted into the mix-up. Steered away with Dawu clattered into by Bidwell. He leaves the postman down on the floor and just feeling that one a little bit.
Particularly enjoyed both Blizzard in that previous play as well. He just gave the referee one of the absolute death stare of a perceived high foot, and then Bidwell hit into the back of Wadawa. He's back to his feet. Quickly taken to Griffiths. Fortunately, Wadawa is not really making a run down the left-hand side, so looks for Gerson to make that run, but we would have preferred another option there, young Jonathan Griffiths, and those Carnos hit that one into next door's solar panel. It'll come trickling off the roof, and we'll get that back eventually. Wadawa probably just needs to get a bit of a move on here. Still feeling the effects of that challenge against Bidwell. Ortman trying to present. That's where the postman goes. Just about kept in, acrobatically so. And now Miles Barnard with only Turtle Holden up front. Looks to play a 1-2 with Bidwell, and that'll be off an Olympia player. Devonport Andy Bidwell there trying to steal possibly about 15 metres. Back to Lascano. Now to Kieran Mulroney. He's got 4 or 5 options ahead of him, one of which is Braden Mann, and Braden Mann's clipped from behind by the Mountain.
Kick opportunity here for the Strikers. Dave Lizard standing over the dead ball, though Jetty Crucier now across. He takes it quickly to Joel Stone. Stone thinks about the shot, shimmies off onto his right, then clips one in. Clever back heel, and at the back post it's Mann. Great block, Van der May. Did well, got across, provided the coverage for his keeper. I think the flag had been raised regardless, but not too far away at the back post here. A really clever little flick, that one. Didn't quite find Lascano. There's a crucial defensive intervention there. Dawu sends it long. Gordy Gerson threatening to get him behind, but too much on it. Easily gathered by Pitchford. There's Lascano carrying forwards. Here's the Spaniard. He knocks this one along. Michael Holden. He's got a chance to put the cross in here. He chips it back in. Braden Mann the target. Header back in. Crucier trying to combine with Barnard. Not quite. Holden back to Bidwell. And stretching away there was the Mountain. He puts it behind for a corner. And the Strikers just turning the screws on Paul.
Joel Stone needed the Jenin Shaqiri style bicycle kick there from overnight. It really set up for him nicely. Unfortunately, didn't quite have the acrobatic intent to Joel Stone.
Not quite able to match one of the best wingers in Europe at the moment, but perhaps. He scored a few spectacular goals. This one swung in, free header, and it's over the top. Lascano surely had to do better. Where was the marking? You've got all that tall timber, and you let the centre back of the other team just stand all on his lonesome.
He was just standing there with no one within 3 metres of him. Look at the amount of space. All the Olympia players just watching him. You have all the time in the world, and you've really got to, with that much time, compose and get the ball down. For someone as talented as Braden Mann tries to get that down the line to no avail. Lucas Hill taking his time to retrieve the ball, the Mountain.
Getting word from up north, 3-0. Matthew Sanders tucking away a penalty. So that game seems to be over pretty early. The Zebras taking care of business, and now I guess they're going to try and bolster that goal difference, which could be important. Should they get in a scrap with South Hobart for the title, that would require a real fall off from this Strikers outfit though, and they're not showing any signs of it. They're likely to add to their lead, if anything, here this afternoon.
Definitely worth tuning into the slightly more tighter of the tussles here at Warrior Park. It came already over after half hour up north. There's throw in down the line, Braden Mann can't quite win that one. Castaneda's got Crucier all in his back, and Koso smacks it right into Dom Smith, but keeps going down the line and eventually runs out of territory. Once again, all players wish that sideline was about 5 metres wider. There's throw in taken along down the line. Joel Stone, Crucier, beaten out. Fight with Dawu. Looking for Gerson. Kieran Mulroney just hoofs that one out of play into the car park. Charlie White whistling. I think a substitution is going to be made, judging by what the AR's doing. Fox in the box. Miles Barnard coming off. Say that's
Jelenovic.
Yes. Until he turns around, we'll get confirmation. Yeah, number 15 would be Jelenovic. I think it's Adriano, but yeah. And it's down the line. Call for handball from some players from Olympia, even though Alan's arm was connected firmly to the middle of his chest. So, Paul Stevens tries to play it back to Van der May, and eventually the yellow wall works magic again. Joel Stone trips over the ball and then manages to magically retrieve it again. Done exceptionally well in that situation, Joel Stone. Turns well again. Down the line. 1-2. With Crucia. The Mountain Lucas Hill coming across, trying to shield it, and does well. The big Cole in Lucas Hill.
So we've gone past an hour now. Devonport getting on top in this one. The Warriors still within striking distance. They've got a goal in them. But at the moment, Devonport seemingly in command of this one as Smith nods on. First involvement from Jelenovic, and now it's Turtle Holden who whacks it across the face to Mann! Blocked away there. We'll get a second chance. Braden Mann shapes onto the right, then lays it off for Bidwell, driving it to Holden, who couldn't quite get in at the back post. He stretched not far away. They're knocking at the door for that second goal here, the Strikers.
Starting to press the Strikers. Braden Mann again going for an acrobatic effort. I think he's trying to get about half the goal of the year contenders himself with the amount of acrobatic efforts he's had. It was a very similar one earlier in the season, and then a pretty strong through ball in, and always had Holden stretching behind Vandermeer. Again, Devonport looking promising in this second half. Really want to put this game to bed as early as possible. Tom Smith rises high. Paul Stevens intercepting. Left on header from Turtle Holden. The Mountain there once again. Castaneda. There's a shirt pull and a trip in that lot. Charlie White calling the free kick. Ortman. So with Dawu. We'll find his opposite winger in Nkoso, who will look to take on Smith. Shielded well. Nkoso really wanted the free kick there. Didn't really want to chase that one down, the return ball. Seemed to stop.
So this game following a fairly similar pattern to that first match between the two teams. Devonport 1-0 lead that day with a stronger team, had more chances, couldn't find that second goal though. And then it was Joffrey Nkoso who struck to square things up, and it ended 1-1 despite the Strikers' dominance. So will history repeat here? Can they find the second goal just to give themselves a little bit of breathing room? They'd certainly like it. As flicked on to Jelenovic. Jelenovic volleys it into the path of Crucia. Away from him by Altman. Did well to get a foot in. And Castaneda nodded it to Adawu outside of the boot. Ball there, and Nkoso ships it up for himself. Very stylish from Nkoso, and he does well to keep a hold of the ball. Stevens, Castaneda, Bidwell, back to Wadi Castaneda. Deflects into the path of Gerson. But sliding out there was Pitchford.
Pitchford coming off his line well to take a deflection, which left Gerson temporarily on his heels. Made Pitchford the favourite, and he loofs it down towards Braden Mann. Nice flick on header if that can get into the path of Bidwell, but Holmes uses his strength to try and shield it out of play. Does well there, the cuddler. Dawu tries to find Castaneda, but intercepted from Blizzard. Step over from Stone to Braden Mann, who's sitting a bit deeper at the moment. Finds Turtle Holden inside the 18-yard box, tries to fashion some space. Turtle Holden eventually gets around Vandermeer, and a lovely challenge from Lucas Hill. In terms of performances today, he's been outstanding, Lucas Hill. A real Col de Tourmalet type mountain performance from the mountain.
Someone's been watching their Tour de France.
Just a little bit.
Corner opportunity. Looks like Crucia striding down there to take it once again. They've caused them a few problems with their set pieces today, have the Strikers. This one, Geraldine Johnson comes out, punches away to the feet of Nkoso. And he's off here. Joffrey Nkoso leading the counter-attack and then just charges in to Holden, who just stepped into his path. Exactly what he was doing there, Holden. That's one way to stop Joffrey Nkoso when in full flight. Just step in front of him like that. Very lucky to get away without a slice of cheese there, I reckon.
I thought that was a fairly standard cheddar there. Very cynical, and the attacker was off and away. Wasn't too far from getting the ball, but if you get no ball in that situation, I'd usually expect a card, as Johnson's under all sorts of pressure. And eventually nearly hits our camera in frustration. That nearly hits the wonderful camera operator on the far side. of the ground. He just got out of a pretty tight jam there, Johnson.
Yeah, played it to him under pressure and just about extricated himself from the situation well enough. Jelenovic looking for his first meaningful involvement. He wins a free kick.
I think he wanted to destroy all evidence of that return pass from his teammate there, just in case. Free kick to the strikers, and they tend to put a lot of the tall timber forward. Seeing as Carno taking up a prime position at the near post. Again, looks in that direction, over the head of Johnson at the back post, nearly coming in. There's 3 strikers bursting in there, and Koso tries to keep it in. To no avail. It's a teasing ball in to where all the strikers' players were. Chris Gallo getting a touch on the ball. Not quite as good as Ken Morton's header from last week. So it's inside to Turtle Holden. And a blizzard. Space to switch it if they want to here, the strikers. Instead, they keep it on the grandstand side and launched over the head of a couple of players. Joel Stone ends up with it. Holden wanting it down the line, but Lucas Hill repels again. Vandermeer hoofing that one to Gordy Gerson, who was about 10 yards offside, and Koso will chase it down on though and put Pitchford under pressure. Not a man. Lovely control from the star striker. And again, Lucas Hill just thumps the ball clear. It's been a real pattern of the last few minutes.
It has the strikers firmly on top here at the moment. They look like they're grinding this one out fairly comfortably. It's the narrowest of leads, but they're getting the job done pretty professionally right now. Holden wide on the left is played in. They keep it in. Not quite. So the throw into Vandermeer, but they're about 20 minutes plus change away here. Completing the job, but it's these type of wins that you so often see in league champions, just the ability to grind out a result away from home by a single goal. And they're looking in command at the moment, Devonport. They're not overly exerting themselves searching for the second, but Olympia have scarcely troubled them in this second half. They've really threatened. Brett Johnson stands over the goal kick.
Not a whole lot of attacking options on the bench either for Olympia Warriors. Tommy Little usually playing in defence. Not quite kept in from Joel Stone, who makes himself well acquainted with the fence there.
Can the Warriors do something here? They've not had a lot of the ball around their attacking area in this half. That's a clever back heel. The clearance went straight to Gerson, then he got nutmegged in the end there, did Gordy, and that one smashed out of there. Flicker of a threat there from Olympia as Castaneda and Gerson combined in the box. He's in Koso. 3 strikers surround him, and Koso does really well in the end, and then Castaneda swarmed, worked it well to get it to Nkoso, but elevator doors slammed shut on him. There's plenty of those banana slug shirts back here for them. Blizzard smashing that one out. Olympia, another throw in through Griffiths, and time starting to creep up on them to become an enemy here.
Yeah, it's possibly a push in the back on Wadawa, and it is. Bidwell giving away the foul, and now Olympia's tall timber will come up. It's probably going to be the best, most likely avenue for goal for the Warriors. Looking like they're out of a little bit of inspiration in terms of open play, but when you've got the Mountain and Holmes and Vandermeer up there, they're always a chance. And Wadawu delivers in that area, palmed away from Pitchford, nearly lost it in the sun. The captain doesn't quite keep it in. Lucas Hill being told to calm down. Holmes striding across. Been a while since I've seen a long throw from the Cutler, actually. Real throw back here. Holmes heaves it towards Vandermeer. Well cleared. Up goes Stone. Clearly got the shout from Braden Mann. Jinx inside. He's got 2 up in front. One of them is Jelenovic. He's on his right peg. Shoots and goes high and wide from the striker. Probably would have rather that the other way around with Jelenovic playing in Braden Mann in that situation.
Yeah, whether he could have executed the move Man did is another issue. Just very clever little play there from Braden Mann. Takes the touch, takes it off to the races, and then plays him through with a wonderful through ball. Just split them apart on the counter attack. As Olympia had enjoyed a rare threatening moment in this half as Johnson swings it long again. It's Gerson who's having to do all this work in the air. I know Stevens is the deepest of the midfielders. Maybe just push up a little or just go with slightly shorter goal kicks and give it to someone who's got a bit more of an aerial presence perhaps.
It depends how much they really want this game. You could move Stevens back to centre back and get Hill up there as the auxiliary striker, just so Gerson doesn't have to do so much work against the tall timber of Lascano and Mulroney. I think he's won one so far this game.
So Dawu turns and tries to get him behind of Eddie Bidwell, unable to do so. I think he'd be reticent to move Lucas Hill purely because of the pace the likes of Holden, Mann, Jelenovic, that front three have, and as the quickest member of that back four, Lucas Hill, he can be a little bit slow without him back there, and they're going to have to push up and chase this game, and I don't think they're going to want to have their centre-backs chasing him behind, but they do need something here, Olympia. 20 minutes left. It's getting near kitchen sink time. One goal will do it for them. Still a slender lead despite their dominance of the contest. Devonport. Wadawu does really well here. Again surrounded and then clipped. A free kick in a good spot, but it's telling. Speaking of telling, Wadawu and Mann just telling each other how it is.
Quite sure what Braden Mann's accusing Wadawu of there, but he certainly didn't mind just screaming right into his face after that foul. He's backed in and clipped him with the back leg. He's not happy about it, Braden Mann.
He feels Wadawu was playing it up a little bit. He may well have, but he was still fouled. Man, arguing the point forcefully here.
His second interesting reaction to an event after that goal celebration earlier.
29th goal of the season as the magic spray comes out here, and Wadi Castaneda stands over the ball. A dangerous dead ball technician. Can he be the one to get them back on terms here? Really firing a shot. Might not be the worst option. They've got plenty of bodies forward though. He does just chip it in there, deflects Lucas Hill onto it. It was off the head of a striker though, so a corner opportunity here.
Joining Lucas Hill ending up on the temporary grandstand there. Very slippery in boots, those silver stands. Let's get the Gecko coming across. What can Gerson do? He's looking towards the back post. And rising high there was, I think, the postman himself, Warren Wadawu, usually delivering the corners. This time heading over on this occasion.
Probably their best chance of the half, Olympia. And pretty well shut out in this second half.
I'm struggling to think of a chance, so probably by default, yes.
Pitchford smashes this one long over the head of Holmes. Holden giving chase. Lucas Hill across. It's convincing of clearances, but a free kick has been blown their way. It will be deferred to the keeper, Johnson. Gerson wants the diagonal. That's where they head. Lascano across. Bidwell wins the header. Joel Stone. Lascano. Now Braden Mann dropping slightly deeper and works it to the overlapping Eddie Bidwell. He's got three lining up in the middle for him, but he can't get round Jono Griffiths. Defending the flank well is the substitute Griffiths, although Bidwell squeezes past him eventually. Back now to Mann. Jelenovic, Krusha, and Stone. Stone stands it up to the back post. Stretching was Griffiths. Heads away. Braden Mann to Bidwell. Bidwell tried to find Mann, and Griffiths just nods that one into touch.
This game is really Olympia's season in a nutshell. When they're at full strength, they've got a very solid defensive lineup that can match it with the teams that have ended up in the top four in the title race in NPL. Just don't quite have that attacking outlet that we've had in previous seasons, and then when they do have one, they just can't quite get the ball to him or get it to him in the not the correct way. I don't know if it's just seen a lot of them this year as the ball's whipped in, but Johnson will claim that comfortably. I don't know if I've just seen a lot of Olympia this season, but I feel like I've watched this match before. As Mulroney clears that one.
Yeah, it's been a problem with them. I think another issue with Olympia, obviously, the absence of Nick Mearns. He's one of the best players in the state, and they've not had him really for the past 2.5 seasons. It's been a big blow ever since their title-winning year. He struggled to stay on the park, unfortunately. We're hoping to have him back next season, but very difficult man to replace. So Stevens works it centrally to the business Altman. Now Jono Griffiths up to Warren Wadawu. The postman, a slightly heavy touch, then he controls it. Across to Nkoso, and immediately swarmed and surrounded by those yellow shirts. They don't deal with it though, and it falls to Castaneda. Good foot in from Dom Smith. Jake van der May wins it back under pressure from Holden. Castaneda. Look away pass was delightful, and Nkoso tried the nutmeg on Gediminas Crucial, wasn't having a bar of it. And Stone back to the Lithuanian, who defended so well and tried to spring the attack, but passed it straight to Jake van der May. Now Griffiths looking for Gordy Gecko Gerson. What can he do? Again, so many numbers back here. It's hard for the Warriors to break them down. Good proactive defending from Olympia too, as this one swung out in the direction of King Joffrey. Joffrey takes it wide. Dom Smith for company. The flag has gone up and it's gone out, and perhaps a chance for another Alex Holmes heave here.
I think it's a free kick actually on King Joffrey. So we can see the magic spray coming out from Charlie White.
Indeed it is.
Right in our blind spot of the commentary position here at Warrior Park.
Need to keep an eye on that monitor a little more often. No view of the touchline whatsoever. But look, well worth sacrifice for the comfort of upstairs, I think, Paul.
Oh, absolutely.
Shout out to Vlaster on the camera, braving the elements here today, whilst we all sit up top as the free kick will be swung in by Castaneda. Good ball through the box. Wadawu, clever. Holmes, not so clever, passed it straight to Braden Mann. And that was looking promising there for Olympia. One of their better moments. Castaneda, in tight confines. Whacked away from him. Griffiths back for Olympia, and suddenly stares up at 3 yellow shirts charging at him. Poor ball straight to Dom Smith, but he had a poor ball too to Stevens. Wadawu, Castaneda. Now Castaneda again.
Credit to Jono Griffiths as well for that composure with 3 yellow shirts running at you. And Braden Mann can't quite keep a hold of that one. Johnson with the touch. There's it first time. Yeah, credit to Jono Griffiths with the 3 banana slugs running at you and just have the composure rather than just rush clearing it. Castaneda's trying to keep on top of the ball. Actually wins the foul.
Doing a really good job denying any of the Warriors players any time or space on the ball. Anytime everyone gets it in the final third, they're immediately under pressure from multiple shirts too, making life very tough for the Warriors, though they're having a decent little spell here. Probably their best spell in a while, asking a few questions of this striker's defence, but they're standing up to it. What a turn that was from Paul Stevens. Very flashy stuff. Back to Nkoso. Back to Stevens. Now Castaneda, but again, swarming this defence, surrounding the ball carrier, not giving him an inch. Olympia do really well to keep a hold of it. Ortman changes up the play to Griffiths. Chance to knock one into the box. He does just that, and it sails too far, straight into the waiting hands of Pitchford.
Yeah, he didn't have too many other options there, did Griffiths. He didn't have any other runners coming in. It was really just a heave-ho into the box, and Pitchford just missing the toe with Braden Mann, who gives kudos for the touch. Van der May heaving that one in. It's Nkoso, immediately double-teamed. Back to Stevens. Gets it to Castaneda. Gerson just overhits the return ball. Does the Gecko. Joel Stone now striding forward. I think he's fouled there, surely, for Mark the Business Ortman. Again, no slice of cheese after 80-odd minutes. That's going to be a record for Tasmanian football.
He's kept the cards in the pocket today, Charlie White, that's for sure. Probably should have been 1 or 2, or at least 1, the professional foul. But look, he's let them play. It's been a very physical game, that's for sure. But I think the game has been better for White, allowing play to continue and allowing tough challenges to fly in. nothing malicious out there as Bo Blizzard swings that one in. The flick on was expert there from Jelenovic, I think, and no one able to run onto it. It was a clever little flick from the Croatian.
Just trying to see who that was running in at the back post. I think it might have been Kieran Mulroney charging in from a very deep position. And strikers still keeping their noses in front in this one, looking to extend the lead. As that one rolls out for a throw-in. Eddie Bidwell, who looked a bit more worried when it was Nkoso versus Bidwell in the first half, but he's that right-hand side well patrolled this game. Good touch initially down the sideline. I think that's Joel Stone. With a lot of Olympia players to beat, and he's just trying to beat them all. Eventually wins the foul off Griffith, so he's done well there. As Joel Stone was really backed into a corner. So have a look at this flick up. Just a nice little move to get it over with Dalu. Bit of a shirt pull. And he's done well there, Joel Stone. Nice bit of techers.
It's lovely technique. If there wasn't a second player in there supporting, he would have just left him for dead. Beautiful stuff from Stone as Turtle Holden stands over the dead ball. They've about 10 minutes left here as Holden will try and land the knockout blow. Olympia lurking. Can Devonport finish the job? Not with delivery like that, they won't. Away from Castaneda. Holden a low drive in at the near post there. Asking any questions of the Warriors' defence. Not in any great rush to take this throw into the strikers. Eventually they'll drop it off for Bidwell. Deflects into the path of Stevens. Oh, gets in ahead of Holmes there to Jelenovic. But it fell the way of Joffrey and Kosa. And there we'll have our first slice of cheese for the day. Surely,
Charlie White, have you forgotten your cards? I'm now beginning to think he's just forgotten to bring them.
He's just hoping nothing too bad happens and get away with it. Well, he got away with that one. That's brought down in full flight was in Koso there. Here's Jono Griffiths. He's only got Gerson to aim for in the box, and there were 4 strikers' shirts back. He's not going to win that battle as Holden takes off, sliding in with Stevens. Van der May.
You can tell Olympia is still worried about the threat on the counter, having both defensive midfielders still sitting really deep, and just having Gerson in the box. And geez, he's done well to get out of that. Gordy Gerson, I think he's just absolutely whacked Kieran Mulroney there. Got him right in the ankle in front of us.
He's cutting a frustrated figure, and you can't blame the Gecko. He's certainly worked his socks off today, hasn't stopped running. Not too often it's just been a long ball to him up against Mulroney and Lascano. They've just won the aerial battles comfortably, as you'd expect. This one's an up and under from Wadawa in the Nkoso direction, up against Dom Smith. Both teams claim the throw in. I thought it was a Warriors throw, but it's going the way of the strikers, and just a little bit miffed is Gordy Gerson down here on the near touchline.
Fantastic reaction from the Gecko there. He was absolutely incredulous at that decision. Another one going against the Warriors, this time a free kick for a foul on Gentleman's Crucia.
Eating up the minutes here, aren't they? Seconds ticking by, taking them closer to a crucial 3 points. Not far away now from being a job done. Devonport heading into the final 5 weeks with a handy buffer atop the table. It's Crucia steps up to the back post. Dangerous ball falls to the feet of Mulroney. Couldn't do anything with it. The Warriors survive again. Good release from Johnson to Castaneda. Castaneda with the ball to Gerson. Gerson further on to Nkoso. And the yellow shirts just swarm down here on the near touchline and just block that avenue off once again. It's been a defensive masterclass really from Devonport in this second half.
Yeah, it has, and we'll see another substitution here. Olympia, Mark the Business Ortman coming off. Number 15 coming on, just waiting for him to turn around. Number 5,
Oliver Davis.
He's coming on. Still just waiting for the assistant referee to get back in position before Charlie White calls play on. Down the line, Braden Mann beaten out by Van der May. And Koso, once again, immediately challenged once the ball's at his feet. Vandermeer trying to will his team on into the Gecko. And King Joffrey gets a toe in, but moves clear again, and Vandermeer will have another go. Looks towards Gerson, but Moraney read that one well. The Mountain rises high. Stone v Davis. Losing that one in the air was Davis, and now it's Stone. It's charged down by Davis, seeking some revenge. Castaneda, Stone does well to turn out of that one. Dawu, who's cut inside. Now in Koso. Getting a fair hold of the shirt there of Dom Smith. And now it's a throw into Olympia.
A little bit of confusion reigning here at Warrior Park, but the Warriors probably owed a throw in truth. As Vandermeer tried to find Wadawu. Stepping in was Mulroney. Losing up against Castaneda, then Stone rising over Davis. Kept in well by Wadawu. Then Mulroney nods it out play. Quick throw. Oh, well done, Mulroney. Made up the ground to get in, and then Wadawu's clipped by Blizzard. And this is a promising position for a free kick.
Let's see, accumulation fouls there. Could have seen Blizzard as a slice of cheese as well. But still, the cards stay in the pocket of Charlie White. 2 minutes left of regulation time. Mighty Castaneda over the ball.
We have seen late drama in recent weeks. Castaneda chipping it dangerously. Great ball, Vandermeer volleyed it on target. Easily gathered in the end by Pitchford, but what a ball that was to pick out Vandermeer. Olympia almost with a sucker punch right at the end.
And nearly getting in was Vandermeer, and the Gecko was at the back post. Look at the replay of that push by Lucas Hill on Joel Stone. Really making sure the referee saw that one, Stone, as he came to ground. It'll relieve some of the pressure on the strikers, and looks like it's Blizzard to heave this one into the box. Doesn't quite get anywhere near that, but falls to Dom Smith. Good bit of space here for Joel Stone. Instead fires it into Griffiths, and Griffiths does well to win it back. It's to Davis. He's now with Dawu, finally turns away, and again just crowded out by Devonport players. Davis fouled after he kicked it.
He's brought down, the two of them raffling the there, just pretty much occupying the exact same position, ready to play the exact same pass. But not to be, as Johnson swings this in the Gerson direction. Against Dom Smith, a more winnable aerial duel, but Smith took the honours again. Castaneda. Stevens. Akiel went to Holden. And Koso just hesitated for a second, allowed in Dom Smith. We're about to tick into stoppage time. Looks like the strikers are going to do the job. Man to Jelenovic. Jelenovic skips past Griffiths and then shows him a clean pair of heels. Charging wide, Griffiths recovering well, turning back inside, and okay, that's a goal kick, is it? No, corner. So Jelenovic gets the job, and they're going to be able to eke another 30 seconds or so off the clock here just by keeping it in the corner. And no one in any rush to go over there and take it. They're obviously going to have a deep discussion to decide who takes it.
Absolutely. Draw lots out of a hat just to figure out who'll go over there, and then someone else will need to run over there surely. There's probably only going to be 2 minutes of added time, plenty goals and just a couple of subs, but this one is going to go into the box. Rising high, nearly getting there, deflected, and it's finally poached home. Devonport get their second in stoppage time. It's Dom Smith celebrating that one, not a regular goal scorer for Devonport, but Dom Smith's pretty much locked the game up for the strikers.
Yeah, well, we thought they'd just keep it in the corner, and a good decision in the end to swing it into the mix-up because they have got the sealer here. Johnson parrying. Man was about to pounce. I reckon man's filthy, to be honest. He was sensing goal number 30 there. But Dom Smith goes bang. He gets a rare goal, and Devonport 2-0 will win this game and march on in their title bid in season 2018. The league and cup double is looking increasingly likely. They're heading into a huge week They've got Zebras, Northcote and South Hobart to come. But they're going to head into it with a handy buffer atop the table. They've taken care of business. This was a banana skin game for them, but the Banana Slugs have done the job expertly. Their defensive work has been first rate.
Oh, exceptionally solid defensive line-up from the Strikers. We've seen that all season. Conceded the least amount of goals in the league so far this season at the Banana Slugs. And they've done the job on their road trip south. The last ones they'll have to do for the season. A couple of home games and a trip to Launceston City in the offing. The other one down south on the last day of the season to Kingborough, which could be the title decider, and that's the final whistle from Charlie White, giving Devonport Strikers a 2-0 win and resuming their spot 5 points clear on top of the table.
Yep, business taken care of very professionally indeed by the Devonport Strikers today. It was a consummate display. They got their goal eventually, they ground them down, and really Olympia didn't threaten in the second half. They were within a goal, but they didn't look like pulling it back. And Devonport finally got the goal to ice it at the end. We have a look at the first one. The postman just caught napping, really, and had his pocket picked by Turtle Holden. Rolled into Braden Mann for goal number 29 for the goal machine that is Braden Mann. Yeah, I just don't know about that celebration, Doss, but I clearly don't play enough Fortnite, as this one is the sealer. Dom Smith claiming it in the end. Braden Mann was lurking. He sensed the chance. Look at him. But reacting quicker was the left back. And I don't think Mann too disappointed. I think he's happy just to have got 3 more points as they charge off in their bid for a league and cup double. And on the evidence of today, Paul, I find it hard to believe anyone's going to stop them.
Yeah, it's really going to take a massive slip up from Devonport here to avoid that league and cup double, and it'd be pretty hard pressed not to say they've earned it so far this season. They've often come down south, and when your away form is better than your home form, that's usually a pretty good sign that you're on your way to a title. They've done the business down here. Olympia, again, just they're not a bad team. They're lacking some killer instinct, I think, in just putting teams away. And I think 5th position is about where they've earned to be so far this season. Pretty solid defensively. Lucas Hill, I thought, had a really good game, nullifying most of the attacks, especially while the Fox in the Box, Miles Barnard, was up top. In the end, Devonport Strikers showing why they are top of the table, and we'll look forward to their match next week against Zebras, which would really put them a long way in front. That'll do from us here at Warrior Park on this sunny eastern shore. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.